you. Yes. Yeah. Happy evening, dear friends. Today we are going to discuss on dictionary. Yeah, it is also one among the data structure. Yeah, dear friends, previously we have discussed about the strings. Yeah, of course, the string which is an immutable, and yeah, we have discussed on list, and this is mutable, and of course tuple, and it is an immutable. And yeah, now we are under dictionary. Exactly, dear friends, this can also be a mutable. What are all the things common to this data structure? Dear friends, the string, of course, you can provide it within double quotes or single quotes. Yeah, you can also have it in triple double quotes, triple to single quotes. And list, of course, whatever you just specify, it has to be within the square bracket, and inside you can just provide a mixed data type. And yeah, we have also revisited that a tuple can also be one among the element, a nested list can also be one among the element. Coming towards the tuple, yes, yeah, this tuple, it would be within the parenthesis, and same as like list, this is also a mixed data type it can have. And yeah, of course, it can also be having inclusion of nested tuple, and even a list can also be there. Now we are here in dictionary. Before going to that, yeah, let me just discuss about the accessing. Yes, dear friends, we have discussed about how to access. Yeah, first and foremost thing, it is by indexing, and this indexing we can have it with the forward indexing and backward indexing. Yeah, which is it in the positive and which is in the negative as like backward, and this indexing it just starts from 0. And here, when on using this indexing functionalities, yeah, you can access each and everything with only one single character or one single element. But when on just making more than one, yeah, you can use a slicing concept, which it just has an 3 attributes as like start, stop, and step. And of course, dear friends, this start, yeah, defaultly it just has with the beginning, and towards the end it just has towards the stop it is with defaultly it would be in end. And yeah, dear friends, here towards the stop you have to consider each and every element as like n minus 1. And towards the step, yeah, it would be defaultly 1. Yeah, you can also change over with 2, 3, 4 like that. Yeah. Now coming on towards this dictionary. Dear friends, this exact dictionary, how it has to be or how it would be. Okay. So this exact dictionary, it would be in as like key and value pair. Key and value pair. And just listen one thing, dear friends, if you are providing it in the list or a tuple, of course the list or tuple or towards the string, the exact indexing, it just starts from 0. The indexing starts from 0. And here towards the dictionary, the indexing is the exact key. And what about the element? Yeah, here it would be the value. I just let you know again. See, dear friends, the structure of the dictionary, yeah, it would be specified in the forward bracket or curly braces, whatever you want. You can just let it have. And here it would be as like key value pair. And this exact key, it would be acts as like an index. And dear friends, key must be unique and it is immutable. Value is accessed by key. Value can be updated while key cannot be changed. So kindly have a note. And yeah, how we are going to access? Of course, by using the key only, we are just going to access the data, that is access the value. And towards the thing, it has its own specification. Yes, as like empty data sets. Yeah, you can also have anything as like a key. Yeah, of course, you can just have an integer, you can have a float as a key, you can have a string as a key, and even some symbols you can have as key, and even an empty space can also be a key. So with this key functionality, we are just going to access the value. We are just going to access the value. Yeah, so let me just go with the coding. Yes, coming towards the coding. Dear friends, here as I have already specified, yes, this exact key and value pair, that is what a dictionary, and each and every key value pair is separated with a comma. Yeah, let me just first of all create a dictionary. So as I have already specified, string is immutable, list is a mutable, tuple, it is an immutable, and here this dictionary, yeah, it is mutable. How we are just going to make use of this? So let me just create a dictionary. Yeah, dear friends, here the dictionary, yeah, you can just keep a meaningful name as like DIC, and yeah, this can be just specified in a flower bracket or a curly braces, and of course it has to be with a key and a value pair, and kindly just observe this exact key, and here with a colon we have to specify the value. And again, I just specify, dear friends, in string or list or tuple, yeah, you can access the element, each and every element by index. And that starts from 0. But here in dictionary, no, it is not as like an indexing. The key is the one, it acts as an index. So now how the exact key can be? Yeah, the exact key, it can be with, yeah, the exact key, it can be in integer, it can be of a float, and it can be on a string, or it can be with a symbol, even an empty space can be a key. Okay, now let me just create a key, or a dictionary, and we just make an access. So see here, dear friends, this one colon, I just specify an value paired with the key 1, and here I just specify the 2. Okay, and not only this, yeah, let me just give few more. Yes, of course, this hash is a key, and of course let me just give something as like a car, and yeah, any string can be any string, and as I have already specified, it can also be an empty space, that can also be a key. Okay, yeah, with this, yeah, let me just have some more as like 5, and sorry, you can also have a value within a tuple. Yeah, and a list can also be a value, a dictionary can also be a value. So yeah, whatever the key you can have as such, the same thing, you can have anything as your value. Okay, so here I just give like this. Now let I just execute. So kindly just observe what is the exact dictionary structure has. Again, I just specified here, kindly just observe, 1 is the key, and apple is the value of 1, and 2 is the key, and here hash symbol is the key, name is the key, and for your information here, 1 space, an empty space is a key where I can access the element of this tuple. Now let me just go for the accessing. As I have already specified, yes, in the particular functionality of the string, yes, for the string or the list or tuple, of course you can access by using the indexing, but here in the dictionary, yeah, you can access only by key. Okay, so now let me just have how we are just going to do. So as I have, so this is what my dictionary. So let I just have a view of the dictionary. Okay, so this exact accessing, I'm just going to give it in the square bracket as what we have just specified in the string or list or dictionary, like that. Okay, so sorry, tuple. So here in the square bracket, I'm just going to provide the key. So let the key is 1. And what would be my value? Yeah, it's apple. And here a few more, let me just give it. Yes, so let I just give dictionary of, kindly just observe, I'm just going to give this empty space. Okay, so within that empty space, yeah, you can just have the access of this tuple content. So this is how you can just get it, dear friends. Now, okay, you can access this, and yeah, as like this string or tuple or list, yeah, there is in this 3 structure you can have an index. So that forward indexing or backward indexing would be there, but in dictionary it is not like that. One and only thing, by using the key you can access. Now let me just go for changing. So changing the data, yeah, if you provide, as I have already specified, here dictionary is mutable, but the key is immutable. You can't change the key, it is unique. So of course you can provide, so kindly just observe this exact space here, the exact content what we have. Yeah, it is the tuple as 1, 2, 3. Now I just want to change it as like list A, B and C. And kindly just observe what the updated dictionary it has. So the last element, now it has been changed to a list content. So changing is possible, yeah, by providing the existing key. Okay, do you want to add? Yeah, of course. If you provide the content, that is the key which is not existed, that makes you the adding of a new dictionary element. So kindly just observe here. Here, if I just provide anything that is not available, for an example, 1 is there, 2 is there, let I just give 3. And I just want to make it as a string like this. Okay. Already agenda is there. Let I just give something. Okay. Python. Okay. Now kindly observe what happened to the dictionary. So a new element that has been added as like 3 and its value has been included as like Python. And obviously it is a string element. Now you can also make some more thing. So as like if it is existing, yeah, you can make the same thing, yeah, which I just already specified. So if I just specify like this, now kindly observe the updated. So it can be. Now, one more thing I just want to say you, dear friends. Let I just create a dictionary, new dictionary. Here, I'm just going to provide a key. This is one key. And towards that, I specify apple. And second, also the same key value A. What happens? Kindly just observe, even though this exact key, it is already there, if I just specify the same key again, and the dictionary, what it happens is it overrides and let you know it is not a 2 number of element, it just returns only 1 element. That is what the updated element, that is the latest element. So this is how you can change or override or add an element. And of course, adding an element, that is if you didn't provide, if you are providing the exact new key and providing a value like this, yeah, it just makes an addition. And of course, dear friends, kindly observe one thing, it would be added only to the last. And it cannot be customized as inserting as a second value or third value. It is not possible in the dictionary. Okay, hope moving for the last functionality. Yes, removing the element. Of course, removing the same as like a string or list or tuple. Yeah, here also we can delete the whole element by using the exact key word del and to the dictionary. So here I just specify DIC. Before that, let I just give what is there in dictionary 1. So here I just have dictionary 1, one single element, that is A as a key, car as a value. And let me just, after executing this, now let me find this. What happens? Yeah, it is not defined because it is deleted. Of course, this is what happened in the string or a tuple or a list, and here now in the same dictionary too. Okay, and here we have few more, dear friends. Kindly just observe one thing. Yeah, there are two particular things to make it pop. Okay, and that pop, how you are going to make it is, see, for an example, let me just have the dictionary here. And if I just specify dic dot pop, and kindly observe, of course, the same pop here, we can provide a particular key here to make it popped out. For making a popped out element, yeah, you can provide a particular element. And here, for your information, I'm just going to give hash. So what would be the element now? Of course, the element is the value of this key pair hash. Okay, so that is what it is just going to be happen. So kindly just to see, yes, it is popped. And one more thing I just let you know, dear friends, if you want to assign anything, any variable to this, yeah, you can have, as I have already specified in the list structure, yeah, when you just do the pop functionality, yeah, you can assign to any other values, or sorry, any other variables. Now, one more thing which we have is pop item. For this, of course, it is just going to take the last element only, but observe to the same, I'm just assigning to a variable B, and kindly just observe, dear friend, what it happens. And when I'm just peeping into the variable B, how it has been stored as like a tuple. This is very much interesting and important topic also, dear friends. So when you just use a pop item in a dictionary, okay, so the exact pop item, it would be the last element, and to the same, it would be assigned in the manner as like a tuple. Okay, so yeah, that is what, dear friends, we have made a good discussion related to all the data structure. Yes, we have discussed today as with the key and value pair. So I just make a small summarization. This exact key, it is an immutable. You are not able to change this. You are not able to make it any further changes in this key once you have assigned. But you can change the value here. And towards this key, yeah, you can provide an integer, you can provide a float value as a key, and you can provide a string or a symbol, even a space, one space or two space. Of course, that can also be a key. And of course, you have to provide a value pair towards this key, and kindly observe, dear friends, this exact value can also be a list, can also be a tuple, can also be another dictionary. And when on making this, dear friend, see actually where exactly this can be used, or in the real time where this can be utilized. Yeah, for your information, here I just give you a small example. So let me just have a data name. Okay, let me just have a data name, and of course let me just go with a phone number. Let me just have something as like address. Okay, in such a case, these are the key. Okay, let me just have the dictionary name. I just specify as like Ajanta. Okay, now second key, it is the PH. Okay, and here I'm just going to give the number as like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 like this. And what about the third element? Yeah, here we are going for the third element, address. That is, key is address, and here the value I'm just going to make it as another dictionary. And kindly observe, dear friends, this dictionary here you can just have the door number as first key, and you can just specify the door number, the street, the second key, and the value. And yeah, you can just have the city, the value, the country, the value, the state, the value, the pin code, the value, and of course you can close this dictionary of the address and the whole of it. A small example only. So when you just provide this functionality, yes, this is what one particular data. And if you have a collection of this much data, yeah, like this, yeah, it is what going to have as like a data set of an employee or data set of an any personal details like that. It just goes on. So yeah, kindly just observe, dear friends, these are the exact key which you are not able to change. But yeah, of course, by providing the existing key, you can change the value. And of course, if you are providing a new key by square bracket, and if you are providing any data that as like a value, yeah, it would be defaultly added to the end as like appending. Okay, so that is what happened. And last but not least, you can use pop with the particular key, and you can use the pop item without the parameter. And when on just providing the element, yeah, the particular element would be popped out. Okay, the particular element would be popped out, and it would be stored only as like a variable. But when on just specifying as like popped item, kindly just observe, dear friends, this can be, if I just specify anything as like a last item, if I just make it as like a pop item, yeah, it is going to be assigned as like a tuple. So this is very much important. Okay, now let me just go towards the second topic of today's session. So it is flow control. We are just going to discuss on this flow control. Dear friends, actually in Python programming, decision making statements are those that help in deciding the flow of the program. And for example, you might want to execute a block of code only if a particular condition is satisfied. Well, in this case, the decision making statement will be a great help. Now this exact key, how this is going to be supportable. Yeah, kindly just observe, dear friend, we are having three types of flow control statement. One is conditional statement, and next one it is iterative statement, and the third one it is the transfer statement. And here in the conditional statement, this act depending on whether a given condition is true or false. You can execute different block of codes depending on the outcome of the condition. But here the condition statement always evaluate to either true or false. And here when coming towards the iterative, dear friends, actually here iterative statements allow us to execute a block of code repeatedly as long as the condition is true. And we can also call this as like a loop statement. And here we have two types of loop statement. One is for loop, and next one it is the while loop. And last but not least, the transfer statement. Yeah, these are used to alter the program's way of execution in a certain manner. And here we have the three types of transfer statement as like break or continue and pass. Yeah, dear friends, today we are just going to discuss on one among the first thing, that is conditional statement. Yeah, by one, let me just discuss. So here in this statement, kindly just observe, this is how the exact syntax is of. So if and a condition, and we have to provide a colon. And of course, once the exact syntax is correct, yeah, the indentation automatically appears. And here we are just going to give some set of statement which would be executed when this exact condition statement is true. And here I just give you a thing within a flow diagram. Kindly observe, dear friend. Here, if the if condition statement, and it would be actually executed when the exact condition is true, it would enter into the body of if conditions. If it is not so, it just having the false, it comes out of the if loop. Okay, now let me just have a small example here. Kindly just observe, dear friend. Here we are having a variable name as like grade, and it was assigned with a value 70. And now I just want to check a condition whether the if grade is greater than or equal to 65. Kindly just observe, dear friend, if this exact statement is true, here we are specifying an evaluation of the condition. And if the exact statement is true, yeah, the exact loop would be entered into, and the condition would be entered, and it would execute what are all the statements under if block. Okay, so let I just give you one more thing, dear friends. So here we have our if block. And here I have a condition. If this exact condition is true, the statement whichever is entered below this block would be executed. And if it's so, if it is false, of course it not enter into the loop, rather than it jumps out of the if loop. So this is what we are just going to discuss it with the program. Let me just go with the coding. Kindly just observe, dear friend. So here we are just going to apply a code. Let I give some small simple example. Let I just give num is equal to 3. Now I'm just going to have some condition as like if num is greater than 0. Okay, num is greater than 0, and I'm just making the colon, and kindly observe the indentation automatically appears as the exact syntax is correct. The indentation appears, and here I'm just going to print yes, the number is positive. So of course what happens, it just checks with the number. Okay, the value is 3, and here it comes for the condition. It just checks for the condition whether it is true or false. Dear friends, kindly just let me know whether it is true or false. Yes. So whether it is true or false. Absolutely. Okay. So yes, exactly. So what we are just having, it is true. So as it is true, it is entering into the print statement. So it is going to be, yeah, it is going to be positive. Okay, fine. Now I just give you the same condition. Now I'm just going to get an input from the user. Okay, now I'm just going to get an input from the user. Let me just have here as num, and of course it is an integer. So the input prompt I have to specify, enter a number. Okay, so as here I have just made a typecasting. One second, I'm just making a typecasting. So it just received the exact input, not in a text manner, rather than in an integer manner only. Now I execute it, dear friends. So kindly just observe. So for this, I have to enter my input. Let my input be 0. Now what happens? What happens, Prasanna? Yes? Of course, yeah, exactly. So see here, dear friends, this exact 0 would be my input. Okay, now it just would be assigned to the variable num, and it just checks for the num whether it is greater than 0. And kindly observe, dear friend, it is not true. It is not true. Because yes, the exact number should be greater than 0. That is the exact condition. But here it is 0. So it is false. So it not enter into the loop. So it just comes out of the loop rather printing the output. So kindly observe what happens. It just comes out. It is not entering into the loop. Exactly, Prasanna, the same thing. And yeah, even if you can have the same thing, so I just make it here. So even it is coming out of the loop, and here out of the loop. Now I just give the value here greater than 1. Let I just give 2, and kindly observe. Here, if I just enter 2, of course, the exact data, it is greater than 0. So the condition gets true. So it enters into the loop and it executes this, and it finished its task, and it comes out of the if loop, and this statement would also be executed. That is how this if statements work. Okay. Now, for you, one more small example. I just let you know, dear friends. So here, if not only this one, you can also have so many variables, num1 or num2, and I'm just providing multiple variables in a single statement. And here, let I just give like this. Now, what would be my if loop condition? So let I just give if num1 is less than num2. Num1 is less than num2. I have to print num1 is lesser. Okay, fine. Now, as to this exact statement, what happens? What happens? So the 6, it would be assigned to num1. The 8, it would be assigned to the num2. And it just checks for the exact statement, that is condition. Okay, the condition here, it is num1 is less than num2. And here, of course, whether it is true or false, obviously it is in true condition. So it enters into the loop, and here we just get the output. Now, one more thing I just want to let you know, dear friends, that is here, if you are having a particular statement here when it is true, okay, you can also have some statement when it is false. Yes or no? In such a case, yes, what I'm just going to do is I am just going to have one more loop functionality, that is one more functionality, decision functionality, that is if here I have a condition, and if this exact condition is true, I have to execute these all the statement. And kindly just observe, if this exact statement is false, what happens automatically? It just comes out of the loop, rather than I just want to execute few more statements, and that I'm just going to enter it here, where that is else. So if it is true, yeah, it is going to execute all this. If it is false, yeah, it is going to come towards the else loop, and what are all the statement under this else block would be executed. So we have two options of decision, whether it is true or false. So now let me just have the same thing with the same functionalities, and let me just apply it into the code. So kindly just observe, dear friends. So this is the exact syntax. Observe here, that is if and to the condition. If the condition is true, yeah, it is going to execute the statement 1. If the condition is false, it executes the else statement, that is statement 2. And not only here, it is just going to be a single statement as like print. Of course, there are so many statements it would be there. That is, as it is specified as like a body of if statement or body of else statement. Of course, it would be more than a one statement. So that is what it is specified here. Okay, let I just give you few more statements and programs here. So let we have if, okay, let me just have some num. I'm just going to get it from the user. So with an input prompt, enter the number. I don't know what they are going to enter, and let us search if my number that is greater than or equal to 0. I'm just going to specify it as like, yeah, it's a positive. And if it is not true, yeah, kindly just observe here. I'm just going to make it else and print it's negative. And one thing, dear friend, I just repeat it again. Here, it is not limited to only one statement. And keep on, I'm just saying it is going to be have more than a one statement as like body of if statement. And even in the else also, it won't be limited to one single statement. It also would have a number of n number of statement. Okay, so let I just execute this. So kindly just observe, I'm just going to enter a new number. So if I just specify -7, what happens? What happens? Okay, so let I just give it here. So yeah, of course, here my exact number is -7, and here it is specified as like greater than or equal to 0. If it's so, here it is positive or else it is negative. Now, first of all, this exact number is assigned to the variable num. Okay, and now I'm just going to check whether my num is greater than or equal to 0. Whether this statement is true or false, dear friends? Is the statement is true or false? Of course, it is false. And in such a case, if it is true, yeah, it would execute what are all the things there under the if block. But actually, it is not, because this exact statement is false. So it jumps to the else statement, and whatever there in the else statement, it is going to execute as like negative. Yes, exactly, Prasanna. We are just going to have the output as like negative. Let me execute the data and let's execute the code and see. So it's negative. Thank you, Prasanna. So this is what it is going to happen. Okay, I just give you one more data. Okay, so let me just give some two variables, num1 and num2, and let me assign us like 6, 8. What is the same thing we are just going to have? So if num1 is less than num2, kindly just observe, dear friend, here, yeah, it is all about an evaluation. Data evaluation. So here, yeah, not only this lesser than, yeah, you can just go for greater than or equal to, not equal to, equal to. So many relational operators is there. Yeah, you can just make use of that. And here the exact syntax ends. And if it is true, I am just going to print num1 is lesser. And kindly observe, here num1 is greater. Now kindly just see what happens to this. What happens to this? Of course, yes. So the exact condition here, it is true. So it is not going towards the else, rather than it executes only the first if block. So our output is num1 is lesser. Okay, now I'm